Everything going well, mate?
I'm good. I'm doing great, thank you. I'm lost in the south of France right now.
This sounds perfect for me. I 100% thank you and the community for voting on this.
No
I
problem.
love it. I'll be regular on.
With pleasure. It's good because we're gonna talk about what you're building. I saw that you're pretty young too, and you're building cool stuff. So I think it's pretty cool for the community to see new face, new project, new stories. At some point.
Definitely will push out something by this week or next. It's always some last minute bugs which are troubling to the developer mostly.
Quite okay for me. A few change on my projects. It's at the beginning with the scribe right now.
Yeah, that's always great. When things are hard, you start to pick up the pace. Things are going well. You get a lot of dopamine, keeps you going. So I can feel.
I think yes. Yeah. So I've made this free tool because I wanted to try a few things with a free tool first because it's easily shareable, And I found some people that like to use it, but that don't want to pay for the paid version. Sorry, because the free version is like enough for us. I did not. If I look at my page, I didn't really fake a lot of things. Because I was thinking like I can build and change every time the project can iterate, but I was thinking that
I think you should, because like you have this thing that you built quite easily and quite fast, but that lot of players maybe have, and right now you need to see like if you can have another competitive advantage, other features that others don't have, etc. And you have to test a lot of ideas, etc. And maybe fake it with your landing page or with a fake Figma demo, etc. is something that will give you like much more feedback and will make you come outside just what you have built, which is quite limited at some point,
Yeah, maybe because right now when I want to test something, maybe it's a bit too slow if I want to build the things and see after if it works. Even if it's take 1 week, to build a thing, or even 2 weeks, maybe it's not a good pace. I don't know.
And I think like with Wingme, it's definitely what we have done like with Ari.
Yeah, that's pretty well said. So just a quick summary of what Wingme is. It's a next generation cold outreach tool. So like any other outreach tool, it helps you do outreach. Right now we're focusing on LinkedIn outreach. And specifically, our strong spot is using AI to perform all the actions. So you can import all the leads you want, and then for each one of them, we give you personalized actions to take based on their profile. So these actions are also dynamic. So if someone has posts, we reply to those posts. Otherwise, we get into the DMs. There's like quite a bit of logic there. And that's pretty much what Wingme is. And regarding our go-to-market strategy, we had decided to go show it to users as soon as possible. Like we didn't even have a single line of code written, and we would show like the Figma and try to gauge what the users would like to use it for. Wingme is about getting your results. Hello, Antoine.
Hello.
So yeah, we really focused on that, and even then, we still launched very early without having our major feature out there. So we got even more feedback from that, and we integrated it to the product, made some changes, etc., and also adjusted the roadmap. So we were really aggressive with this. We got a lot of benefit from it, especially like speed. And we didn't waste a lot of time, any time really. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
If I can show you something funny, like I'm going to share my screen. So basically everything you see, even the video demo, which is here,
welcome guys.
That take 3 minutes with the demo of the project, that is deep. Everything you see here is completely fake, So it's just like basically a Figma mockup, screen about it to make a fake demo, which is a kind of hack, I have to admit, because like with mockup people can realize and can see that this is fake, etc. But with video, it's make it more real, at some point. But at some point, it's just like Figma with like the mockup feature you can run directly on Figma, you know. And so the ability of fake it directly the ID, we could like change the mockup in 1 minute and update it. We could change the demo parts and update it in a few minutes. And there's like even with Loom, you can do some video and you can cut the video when you do some change, etc., and edit, and it's still a Loom, so it's make it like you did the video directly in one shot, you know. So I think like you can definitely fake it, the whole concept and the whole product landing page, etc., to get some feedback at the beginning, and during the moment you start building and you start coding, etc., you can fake it some features, you can fake it some ideas, etc., to get some feedback and to manage your time between developing and selling and finding the market at some point, you know.
And also, like, what's especially good about creating a fake UI and a video around it, and not just testing the idea, because like this is like very well known, right? Before you release something, go and ask them, explain them what you're building, etc., etc. If you really build the video and like the UI mockups, nothing crazy, just something that's well structured, you make it so much easier for everyone who you're talking to visualize the exact purpose of the product. And this is like a blind spot to many people, right? Even for me in the beginning, I was working on WingMay and like I had seen the Figma 1,000 times, so I had it in my mind. But when you work on something and someone doesn't know anything about it, you forget that and they don't get the idea, and then a whole mess gets created. So by creating something visual and showing this as well, not just a written text pitch, you help everyone get the idea much better, and this helps you in return too.
I'm faking a lot of things in my company. So like if I could give you my last example, like we are providing robots that doing jobs for our user. And actually, we are trying a new offer where user give us their goals. So they tell to me like, I want to hire a new engineer. That's it. And I tell them that I gonna train an AI and a robot that gonna do the job for them in the background. But in the background, it's me. So I'm doing the job manually and I'm sending them the result. So I can try if the offer is good for them or not.
Like Antoine, you know how to code and you know how to sell. What is the proportion of time on the both sides? Do you think you code more than you sell, or do you think you sell more than you code?
I definitely do more sales than code.
Okay.
Because I think it's the most important to validate that the market wants your product. Mm-hmm. But we got a lot of time of just development. Like for 2 or 3 months, I've only done like dev. But right now it's only sales. And
around like the fake it, I saw like you moved a bit your positioning, you iterating, and at some point I think like every startup and successful startup is not born from the initial idea, so pivoting and iterating is something very quite normal, you know. Did you fake it, and did you go to market in every one of your steps, and that's what make us change the initial idea, etc., or it wasn't correlated?
At every change we fake it, because if we need to change the whole product before trying it, it will take us like months or years to try the product. So like our first try was like loss detector. We was trying to detect repetitive tasks for user, but to do an AA that will do that, it's like 1 or 2 years of development. So we just made a little MVP where we just capture event of the user, like what element he click, copies and pass. Mm-hmm. And every night I was just looking at each action and telling them, okay, that's a repetitive task and that's a repetitive task. So at each step it's necessary to fake it, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, otherwise, as you said, you're going to every iteration is going to take months or even years, and like almost everything needs a couple of iterations. So you get so much value by doing this. I feel like it should be a pretty standard way of doing things. Otherwise, you're gonna lose a lot of time, and in the end, you might as well give up, right?
Yes. Totally.
Do you think we can fake it every type of project? Like I'm thinking of Gaetan also SaaS. Did you Gaetan fake it your SaaS around like rental, or did you launch directly?
No, so on our ends we haven't really fake it until you make it. We had to build the solution because most of what our SaaS does needs to be done like instantaneously, and like the value comes from instantaneity and like real time stuff. So it would be hard to do manually, but you can fake a bunch of things. Maybe like on the communication side, for example, we are building an integration with OpenAI to answer travelers instead of a human. It could be pretty easy to just have humans on the background that will type the message and send it to the user. But and also there is a bunch of solutions like that are even easier to automate than to try to fake, basically. But other than that, what we are doing right now is that but I don't know if it's the best way to do it. But for V2 of the app, as it takes a long time, but we need to hype people about it, we started to show like screens and like what are our vision of the product and stuff like that, to see if it was resonating with them. And what we did like a few days ago, we had a seminar with 150 clients approximately that came physically to us. And what we had is that we had multiple boards with features, idea, and like problem and solution. And the user were just like getting post-its and putting on the board what were their problem based on like a bucket of problem. So for example, communication, payments, stuff like that. And then they were adding the post-its and adding solutions to their problem that they were thinking about. And after they have like little dot, like one red dot, one green dot, one blue dot, and they had to choose what was the most important. And what we did actually is that we had already like a mock-up version of the V2 for many screens. And it was not Sigma, but it was hard-coded, but with no like real backend connected and stuff like that. So we can show them the UI and stuff like that, and then they can see that, okay, but if I have 150 apartments, this doesn't work. And like they can give you feedback on what you think will be the way it should work. But sometimes you are wrong and sometimes you are right. But at least you learn like this. And also it helps us to prioritize what need to be developed at first, because maybe for us we think that AI integration is super important, but for them they don't care. They just want this other thing that for us was okay. We didn't know that it was important for you. But it helps you to learn about your audience. For us, it's not necessarily that we choose to do it on purpose, but more that we need time to develop all the things that they want. So we want to keep them hyped about the product and the solution.
So I'm building a couple of things, but right now my main project is the Clonage.app, which is a SaaS product that enables the video translation with the lip sync stuff and targeted as content creators. And yeah, this is my main project.
Awesome.
And I didn't know what to say about like the fake it until you make it thing, but then I hear you talking, and I think maybe I've done it a couple of times, so maybe I can share that. I don't know. Yeah.
Did you fake it until you make it your project? Because it sounds like very difficult to fake it at some points. It's like high technology, no? It's like agent who do like translation like this, no?
Yeah, it's the same tech, similar to agent.
Okay.
But the way I fake it for like to know if the first time I had the idea, so that was like a couple of months ago.
Okay.
Before building like the whole stuff, I just did every connection of the API in the backend, like use some software to generate the audio, some software to generate the lip sync, some software to generate the translation. Did everything in the backend, then just build like a very quick front end and put together like this demo in like 1 day or two. And then I just shared that on Twitter. And at that time I had like 20 followers. That was like my early, so I don't have a lot of followers yet still, but actually this was a test like to see if people were interested, and for my like little 20 followers, it actually like blow up a little bit. Like I got like more than 100 likes. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm onto something. So let's try to build this further. And yeah, this is like the first time I like for this project how I faked it, and it was like a mix of doing just the front end and doing everything in the back end manually, and yeah, and with the like Loom and editing, it works pretty cool.
Okay. How you market it right now? Like you do like LinkedIn and Twitter posts, or you do other things? No.
Yeah, I was doing like building public on Twitter, basically. That's the whole strategy. But this is the part where I'm trying to get better at, like the go-to-market marketing. This is where I suck, I would say. So
okay,
yeah,
interesting.
And I built like the full version like that is working because so then after like publishing on Twitter, took me like 2 weeks to build the actual MVP. Then I onboarded a couple of users, like I think I got like 50 signups. But then half of them actually were able to generate video because there were like too much bugs because it was actually an MVP that was maybe a bit too much.
Sometimes if you're working and your project is like very like deep tech, it's more difficult to fake it and to make it. For example, for Wingmay, I can do some screen on Figma and I can record it. But for you, like if you want to show like the lipstick, you can do like some Photoshop or like on the eMovie stuff, etc. But I think it's more difficult to do like live demo with the Figma mockup, something like this. So it's not every time easy at some point.
Yeah, and on the Figma thing, actually, also like last week, I got a bit sidetracked with 2 friends. With my roommate, we built another like a small hackathon, 4-day hackathon to build another product, and we actually did like 2 fake products for this demo. I think I don't know. Maybe I can share it as well.
Yeah.
Like we did a Loom to demo. It's like a AI SDK.
Okay.
And it was also like a bit technical, but
you're searching yourself a bit, like you're trying to build other project side, etc. It's not like you're
it's not
interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm not still 100% on like one project. Still like kind of trying to figure out what I like to work on. Okay. So yeah, let me show you like just this one. Like for example, you can see like we build like the app for like Shaka that helps you like monitor basically when you build when you're trying to build a complex AI agent, it helps to monitor all the steps when you call like different APIs, and it shows you like a very nice visual representation.
Okay.
And so basically the part on the left and the part on the right are both like fake, like for the sake of this demo. So, but it's what I wanted to bring is like, it's not just Figma, it's like front end, but like fake front end, both of them are like hard-coded front end. And I feel like by doing this instead of Figma, it actually like, I don't know, I'm not that good at it. I'm better with code than with Figma, but I think that enables like to get a good start. And then after you can like, you already have the code for the front end. So you just have to, so it kind of like saves on time. Because if you build a Figma, then after you got to rebuild it in like a front end. And sometimes it's like just quite easy, like with templates to build quickly a fake front end. I feel. So maybe that's the one thing I could say on the fake until you make it stuff.
Definitely. I think like with Wingmay, we're using a library. I don't know what is the name of the library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're using ShadCN, by the way. Yeah, I guess.
ShadCN. Yeah.
You got it developed, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice one. I guess that's another part where you can save time. It's by using libraries. And specifically with this one, what's really good is that it saves time, but it's also very, very customizable, because like usually when you make text choices, you have to balance customizability with how fast you can build things. This just gives you both. So that's why it has quite a lot of hype.
Yeah, I agree. Like ShadCN with like Tailwind for the front end, and then you can build like basically very quickly and get very nice looking result that looks professional. Because I feel like when you're faking it, also making it look like professional and not like too much of a MVP.
And like we talk about a lot about like fake it on Twitter, on socials, etc. But did you ever try, guys, to fake it like on with cold emailing or something like this? Because it's more difficult, at some points. But I feel that you have a more radical feedback and overview of the market, because if you go on socials, at some point people will follow you, like they follow you, so they appreciate what you do, and you can have like some variety extra. But when you target very like your targets and you send like cold email, etc., I feel like it's more difficult, of course, but you definitely have like feedback who like are very interesting, because people don't know about you, and like they will not have any a priori about you. And if your tool, your solution, they like it, they will reply and get access. But if not, they will not ask. But in socials, I have the feeling that there's a lot of tourists that can say, yeah, I'm interested, but at some point they are not very interested. They just like want to hear about what is behind it,
I've done like some cold emailing to try ideas, and like the feedback are way much like in the real life than the social media. But that's more interesting to understand the real market of the product, I think.
And
but you can like easily fake it even if you are doing emails, because like people don't remember what you've said. So if you do some fake it on the mail, but you got a call later, he didn't remember about the mail, so it's not a problem.
I get it.
Okay, and I guess my question to you, Antoine, is okay. So you send the email, you send it like to maybe thousands of people because it's just an email. And then how do you go about elaborating on the feedback? So let's say 1,000 emails, 10 of them give you feedback, and then do you get in a call with them? Do you just leave it on the email? Like, have you ever been in that position?
The goal is to have, for me, the goal is to have a call with them, like to better understand what are they need, and to just have better insight. And like, I think it's important to do like tests, like to send 100 emails with a specific message and another with another message, and see the one that got the better conversion rate, so the open-end rate of the mails, and also like how many meetings do you got, in the meeting how many people have you closed. So it's really important when you're doing mail to do a lot of tests, I think.
Okay. And I guess another question is, what's the big picture behind this? Like, where do you get the emails? Like, is it a lead magnet post? Is it some like other method? How does this whole thing get orchestrated? Like, do you use any tools?
Yeah, that could depend on your business, but on my side, I just like export a lot of people on Sales Navigator from LinkedIn, like with specific filters of my persona. I import them in Lemlist. Lemlist send all the emails automatically and give me the insight of the opening rate and things like that. So I think it's a good stack. Just LinkedIn and Lemlist, it's a good way to start. But in the future, when you got like a specific persona, it's better to like go deeper. Like lead magnets, it's maybe more interesting when you know well your user. But at the beginning, I think like LinkedIn would be well for any B2B business. You have never tried to do email with Wingmail?
No, we did do quite a bit of emailing, but we also have the lead magnet posts. So it's a combination of those two. And we do send emails not to get feedback. What we do is like we send the emails, we get like all their information. Perhaps they give us their WhatsApp, so we nurture the relationship, get their WhatsApp, etc. We get them in a group, and these are like our very special users, I guess you could say, and we have a group with them daily, not daily, used to be daily, but they said that they prefer weekly, so we adjusted that too. Weekly updates, and we really listen to those, get in calls with them, etc.
We do another thing that make us think of Wingme at some point, is that we have this big quantitative approach when we are going to scrap data or collect data from posts, etc. But we also have a qualitative approach, not quantitative. And the qualitative approach is more about like going on Twitter and going on and LinkedIn. So again, it's more for B2B, searching for posts or creators that talk about our subject on an industry, and interacting with people who interact with this post, so with the people who like, comments, etc. And at some point on Wingmate you can do this, but you can do it manually also. It's a bit like tough, so use Wingmate, it's better. But anyway, like on Wingmate, the idea is to add your people on your industry who can be interested, and to nurture the relation, to take info about it, about them, to interact with them, and to get them on call, to show them what you're building, etc. And we have been doing this since 1 month and a half. And the first call we were completely lost. We were just like talking about the idea basically. And the more calls we took, the more precise the vision and the project was. And the initial idea wasn't like what we have today, because of course after like taking 1,000 of calls, after discussing with 1,000 of leads, you iterate and you understand exactly and the real life of what market wants. So I really recommend you to make this job. If you want, even for you, Edgar, like for this tool, I think it's going to be easy to find creators on Twitter, many creators from TikTok on Twitter. There is a lot of creators from TikTok who have like faceless channel, or who have like faceless media, so it's creators on TikTok who make a lot of cash. It's creators who sell TikTok trainings to create like faceless channel, etc. This kind of people, you can find them quite easily on Twitter, and they can be interested maybe by your solution, because at some point, if you can let them like transcribe or change the language of the video or everything like this, you open to them a new market, so you make them win maybe more money. So I don't know if I completely understood your positioning, but if you're targeting creators on Twitter, on TikTok, etc. There is a lot on Twitter that you can just reach by making friends, and after like saying, hey, this is what I've developed at some point,
Yeah, I think that's a good, that's definitely what I should do. And how would you find those people, like using specific Twitter filters? Or like I heard there was like would you do something like that? Or
yeah, it's a good question. There's tool who help you find good creators on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, etc. There's like Favicon, there's Tapio, and there's like Twitter Hunter. But me, what I prefer to do, to be honest, is like just to search on Twitter some keywords, So you talk about like you search creators, TikTok growth or something like this, some keyword like this, and you can find some people who share about it. And I know there is a lot of people on Twitter who share about how they grew their TikTok channel from 0 to 1,000, etc. And they sell trainings, so they can be definitely good affiliates, I think affiliation is also something that can make your product pump if you do like some affiliation with creators of trainings, etc.
Also, that all you are saying make me think about something. Is that on our end, one thing that helped us is that we were, so I own a SaaS that helps short-term rental owners, and we are short-term owners ourselves. So we face most of the problem that our clients face. There can be some like weird example that we didn't know, but most of the use case of our app we already knew. And I think that it can help you really a lot to lean in on your unfair advantage and your like what you know basically, because that way you don't need that many feedback to build something that people want. Especially if you are in a market like a niche market that most people have the same problem. For us, it was easy to build something that like we already know like 85% of the use case of our product before launching it. So. And we were right in our assumptions. So, I don't know if all of you are doing it, but maybe focusing on something that you are really like you have the same problem of your clients, or you are really knowledgeable about the market will help you a lot, because then you can focus more on selling to these people than getting free feedback for free and stuff like that.
I think you definitely have to build around your leverage, and so if you build around your leverage, around the industry, etc., you have more chance and more ease to get feedback. If I'm developing like a project around a woman who are pregnant, etc., of course I can get feedback, but it will be more difficult than if I'm already a woman who is pregnant, etc. And that's interesting. And like I have a quite funny example. I have a girlfriend, and she wanted to build her business since 3 years, and I wanted to put her in a crypto industry. I wanted to put her in a product industry. I wanted to put her in what I know, but I didn't want it to work. I just wanted to tell her like this is an opportunity, etc. And so it never worked. She lost a bit of money and a lot of bit of time. So I was kind of furious because it's basically my job. So it was kind of difficult for me to accept this. And so I took like one day and discussing about what was our passion, what was our leverage, what was the industry she was attracted to, etc. And my girlfriend, like, she was attracted to events, and she was loving like kind of wedding ceremony. She was loving all this kind of stuff that you can see in movie, like organizing a wedding, organizing a proposal, etc. And she gave me the idea of creating a website about proposal and a wedding in Paris, etc. She wanted to do a business around proposals and wedding events. Proposals is basically the moment you ask, would you want to marry me? And she told me that people were ready to pay to make a good proposal. For me, it was I didn't knew about it, and it was crazy that people can pay thousands of euros just to have a good moment for proposal. For me, like, if you're good, like, you go on a restaurant or something like this, or you go on a place that makes sense for your couple. But people actually paid like thousands of euro and dollars to get a proposal in front of Eiffel Tower, or to get a proposal in Venice, etc. And so she wanted to do something in this industry because she knew this industry. She already got friends who asked her like, do you know where I can do my proposal? Mostly in Paris, because she is in Paris now and she's not from Paris. And me, I knew some business model. I knew the marketplace business model. I knew the private marketplace business model. So what I did with her is to show her a business model that were working, which is like the business model of B2B affiliation. At some point, it's basically a marketplace when you will attract people who want a specific things, and you redirect the leads, the people who want specific things, to B2B players. And I make her create her own marketplace for wedding proposal, And so basically it's a website where people will go on this website thanks to SEO when they want to organize a proposal in Paris. And everyone who register on the form will be redirected to a partner agency. And if the partner agency close the deal, she take money, And bro, like in 1 year, she made like 2,000 euro, So for her, it's like crazy, She don't work for this, and like she's going well, So I think like during 2 years, I was trying to make her make business around something that she didn't know and she didn't like even, But I knew, but it wasn't my business, no, at all. And so after she told me about her passion, her like story, etc. I tried to make the same exercise we did at the end with the quest, and I found her things, I get it on, no, bro. But I can get discount if one day it's happened, So yeah, I think you have to do your thing. And I think, for example, Ari, same, like we did something around the AI relational stuff because he was interesting about it. Antoine, he contacted the Quest to make something about AirPA. We didn't know even about AirPA, we didn't know about like this. So I think people have to come with their own vision and conviction to be challenged on the business side, on the growth side, on the fake it, etc. But you have to get this kind of attraction for one market or for one problem you want to solve,
And when you are already in that market, you will have a network of people in that market. You will have like an idea of the problem that the market face that isn't solved for now. It make things a lot easier, I think. You will know how to do your copywriting because you will know the words they use in that industry, like a bunch of stuff like that seem to be like not important, but in the end matters a lot. So,
and perhaps like if you don't know anyone in the industry, perhaps this could be a good profile for a co-founder.
That's a good point. I think everyone have strong conviction and vision, and that's not a problem. If you don't have like a strong vision and conviction on something, and you want to create something very ambitious and very deep, it's not a problem to join like a team of people, a bunch of people, or just one guy or one girl who have their own vision and conviction. That's by telling you it, you will follow and you will find your way. There's no like the perfect. We didn't wake up even in the quest. We didn't wake up with this vision conviction. It's time. It's experience. It's following stuff that's make it evolve.
I remember you tweeted something about it, Jules, and it really resonated with me because I don't have still like a strong conviction or a strong vision on something. That's why I'm still like trying out different stuff. And as you say, like for the content creator stuff, I'm not a content creator myself, so it's kind of like hard to get, and I have to discuss like with content creator to really grasp what they want. And with the AI stuff, it's more like dev tool. So because I'm a developer, I know more of this stuff, so it feels a bit more natural. So I really like agree with like this whole trying to find like where you're good at, like the things that works for you, and but I'm still trying to find it.
We're gonna help you, mate. I think you're in a great place to find it, and I think like at some points you have to get also your time when you do some opportunistic things. It's not bad. We all started with this. My first business were all opportunists and we're all kind of trying to search myself. So sometimes you make money and sometimes you don't, but you definitely learn, and you learn what you want to do and what you don't want to do, and it make it like more precise for you to find the thing that make you work day and night and being passionate and being Mr. this project, at some point.
Very well said. And because I was also a developer, and like even a few months ago, like I probably like had a job, etc., 9 to 5. What I think can help any developer is to really keep in mind that if you're going to be a co-founder on something, or even a solo founder, a lot of responsibility is going to come, even in the technical side. And if it goes well, hopefully you'll hire people, etc. And that's something that being a developer personally, like, really motivated me, having that responsibility, being like kind of the person who architects the tech stuff, etc. I feel like this is like a pretty good thing for the developer. Every developer I knew and I still know aspires to be someone like this. Perhaps you can start with this as a motivation, so you can go with something that's deeper in tech, and then gradually, because you're going to have to solve a business problem, you're going to fall in love with that. I wouldn't stress it too much. It will come. I'm pretty sure it will come. And even like if you are not lucky enough to find a business problem you're really into, etc., a co-founder who is more into business, like really wants to solve a certain problem, is really going to help you. Like they're gonna do all the vision, all the talking, etc., and you can be like in your box, just talking about tech, having your own tech team, being that tech/product leader. Of course, you're gonna have to occasionally get out of the box and discuss, because like you're pretty much the bridge between business and tech. Like if you're going to be high up there, it's going to be absolutely necessary. But you won't be spending your time much in business, because I feel like there are tech people who are like this, and that's also okay.
And also, as a developer, you have like a superpower that is searched by a lot of business people. And I'm sure that you have, as a developer, always have a friend that asks you, I have an idea for an app or whatever, that will ask you to work on it, right? Because it will only take 20 minutes to build. And so, you will have a lot of opportunities. And I think it's much harder to be a great developer than to find a good idea to work on. You will have a ton of them. But what I was talking about is just to lean in your unfair advantage and your story, basically. Whatever you did, you are a developer, you have an experience that you can lean on and find stuff that will motivate you, and that you are the best, probably one of the best in the world to work on it. So as Harry said, a bunch of people that will be happy to work with you, that have an experience, an idea, an unfair advantage in an industry, but they don't know how to code and they need you. So,
but you have to be careful also, like with this kind of people, like coming just because of your skills in development and code. Like making a company with co-founders, like before all a human adventure. And it can sound like a cliche, but it's about it. So it's like a couple, it's like a family, etc. And so, for example, in the quest, when we start searching for co-founders, etc., for the project from the ecosystem, we definitely look the hard skills, we definitely look the learning curve, but we look first the human match and human abilities and human match, at some point, like and I have one rule which is pretty interesting, is that I want to work and I want to have co-founder with who I can go eat dinner, lunch, etc. And I will not feel like, oh, I don't want, I will take a good time. I will have always a subject of discussion. And even if you are different as co-founder, and at the Quest we have the perfect example, we have 5 partners, so quite a lot of co-founders, and we are all different, but we always have like some similarities and something that make it interesting to be together and make it interesting to work together, So I think like because you have 2 choices as founder who are technical, you have the choice to take the lead to sell and to build like Antoine, and it's at some point more like a CEO position at some point, because you're going to do both and you're going to inspire people and you're going to hire. Or you have the choice to be like technical co-founder and focusing on building this tech team, solving the challenge, driving by another co-founder, more as a CTO, etc. And for this, you also have to understand and agree with the vision and conviction. Maybe you will not drive it, but you have to be agree, because you will drive the reality of the project and what it looks like, And so, and in this case, you have to find a good co-founder to follow on this,
Actually, for more context, I co-founded the first startup like a year ago with actually doing this, like joining a co-founder who had a very, very strong business vision. Like he had been working on this like since he was like 15 years old, which was a platform to connect young people with elderly people to help them with their computer and smartphone.
Okay.
So it was like kind of a matching platform. And yeah, I joined him like as a CTO. I was like to do like technical co-founder. And yeah, like you said, it's like a human match. It has to be like that. And also one thing that was, because we split like almost a year ago, because the vision, actually the business was really not about like the tech. So I kind of, after some point, I built the first product, and then the product was not the main thing. So one thing that now I try to be cautious, and if there is other like people in my that are technical and that are looking for to join a business co-founder, is that sometimes they just want like a developer, and they just need a developer, like, and they think they want a tech co-founder, but you have to make sure that the whole business is around like the technical product. Because otherwise, then if the technical stuff is just like a good thing to have to run the business, but it's not like the main thing, then you're gonna like feel like I felt like I'm not like that useful, or like I'm not drive to like, and then you're gonna start like when you do the first hires, you're gonna see like, okay, we're gonna hire a developer in 1 or 2 years because actually I can maintain it myself. So, and then you're kind of like, okay, this is. We're building a company, but we're not building a technical company. And this was like my first mistake when my first association with the project.
I think like you have to learn by making at some point, but maybe what missed was also like the vision and conviction behind it. Because I think like if it's a company that you join and you started by making the product, you're the technical co-founder, etc., and you really enjoy the fight, you really enjoy the vision, etc., and the product is becoming less and less, I think like you find a way to contribute it, and you find a way to take some lead, even if they are not important, but you can do it in some points. But when you can't do it is when I think the vision and the mission, you're not aligning with 100% of it at some point. And it's true that sometimes you can join a project and at the end you are becoming less important and you feel like you're not contributing enough extra, but you can reinvent yourself. And I think like if your founder is like you're open-minded to this, so you can like definitely do other stuff and working on analytics. Like there's a lot of stuff to do that people who know how to code can do it more easily than others. If you're not aligned with the vision, etc., I think like there's like a lot of frustration that can create it from this, and I don't think you can overcome this.
Exactly. I think this is the main reason that like we said, was more the long-term vision and also like the market we were in, which was like the elderly people market, which was not as exciting as like AI stuff, or like for me at least. Even if it's like the vision was actually like very social, very cool, but it was not for me.
Perhaps I guess a valuable insight you could share with us if you want is that, okay, so you were together, worked together, but in the end it didn't work out. So how did you go about breaking up in good terms and making sure, you know, like get something, they get something, everything is nice and fair, and yeah.
You want to hear like the story of how we break up with like a founder? Actually, yeah. It's
yes, it would be interesting.
It went pretty well. So
okay.
No, it
hopefully
went pretty well. So we split like in February last year, like officially. And so he was the one carrying the project, but he did like so I was like 20%, 25% equity at first, and then with vesting to go like to 50-50, because he was like really wanted to me on the project as like a true co-founder that has aligned on the vision. And so we were very clear on that. So we basically pivoted from B2C, like connecting students, to more B2B, because it was a very like a good business decision. Like I was 100% aligned on that. Like now the company is still running and it's still doing pretty good. Like they're growing and stuff. But I realized that I was not going to be part of like this. I did not want to be part of the company like with this new perspective. And so the way we went about it is like, first, like I wrote out, like really communicate with the person, with the co-founder. I really communicate with him, like, okay, but this, like these are the things that are important to me, and then it's not going to be there anymore in the future of the company. It took like a couple of, like maybe 1 or 2 months that was very hard, where I knew I was going to leave, but then I didn't want to like leave and just say bye-bye and then the company just falls apart. I feel like it's important to make sure that if you're in good term with your if you want to be in good term, you have to leave like the company in a way that it's gonna keep going after. And so in order to do that, I waited that we hired, like we had three people on the team. So that way I knew that my co-founder was not alone if I leave. And I think this was really important, that because when you're a founder, you have like a lot of on your mind, and if when you're two, it's already, you can split, you can share, you can like share all your troubles. And when you split, and the one that's left, I think it's very hard for him. So the way we did it is like very like, once we had a strong team, I was like more okay to leave. And I mean, from the fairest perspective, the company was not yet like, we had like a bit of revenue the first year. We had like maybe 10,000 from the B2C, and like something like 40,000 from the B2B or something like that. So it was not like a huge. So I was like not super greedy on like my part. I was like, the company did not have a lot of money, so like we managed like legit a tiny amount of money, and then I'll sell my shares and help with the transition. Like, so I transitioned like all the tech stuff. We moved to like no code stuff, so they can like, because there was no longer any technical person. So I built a no code tool for them to like keep going without me. And that way it went pretty well. And we still like have dinner every like couple of months to keep us updated. So I think that was a very good like split up. I don't know. I
feel like it's great.
I try to win the
I think humans, like, we think about what we invest in terms of time. Like, perhaps you go work somewhere as an employee, or even like as a co-founder with a partner, etc. We go there, we say, okay, I'm spending that time, I'm earning that money, you know, you get paid a salary, and you're like, okay, that's great, and you keep it in mind. And then what doesn't really cross your mind is the fact that you also develop a relationship with someone, a network, etc., etc. So I think people don't really value that most of the time, and they're very quick to bend the bridge. They go like, oh, I don't care, fuck off. And not like, even if they don't break up in bad terms because like something really bad happened, I think we don't really keep this in mind. And it's really nice that you mentioned it and you did it this way. This was like also the case with the company I previously worked at as an employee. Just before leaving, I gave them 1 month plus to make sure the transition was as smooth as possible. And yeah, we're still like good friends. And yeah, I actually saw them a few days ago. And yeah, it's really important. So yeah, great stuff.
Business is not just like you're focused on your business, but then also, even just from a business standpoint, just leaving people in good terms, like in every situation, I think is very important, because after that, it's gonna like bring other opportunities. That's what I try to do. Like, as well as right now, I'm currently working as a freelance for another friend who has a startup, and so I'm thinking of going full time on my own project in January. And the same way we have, like, I had this week to tell them that I'm gonna probably leave in January, and same, I like, yeah, I can give you more time like to do the transition as well. After that,
Very
you
nice.
can get like, I got opportunities from people like that I worked with before, and that we split, and then they just recommend you to other people, and then you get like freelance job or even co-founder opportunities.
It's very cool to chat. I think the next call will be in the same time that last time, because like right now I don't know what you're feeling about it, but for my side I prefer the night, and I have lots of people who told me like they wouldn't. It wasn't possible for them to join right now. If you don't mind, guys, I think the next call will be like more at 6:30 for UTC, so it's like 7:30 for us in France. I think there's a lot of French guy here. I hear the accents, but yeah, like I think I don't know.
I'm French too.
Yeah, I can hear. Next week we will bring like a cool guest. We are gonna start like bringing some guests, and feel free also to register to the next challenge. Every month we do a challenge. The last one was about like social brand, socials, personal branding. Eddie, who participated. The guy who have like 15 years old, who built a very good product, he participated, and we need a lot of followers during this 15 years of sprint. And the next challenge will be a 24-hour startup challenge. So basically during 24 hours, I will open this call and I will be here in live. So the participant and challenger will have to do the same. Hopefully they will stay with me during 24 hours. And the idea is to boost our business during 24 hours following different kind of stage, So we will start with ideation, because there will be a lot of people who don't have any business right now, etc. But everyone is welcome. If you already have an idea, etc., it will be pretty cool to be here, and we will make some crazy guests come based on the different stage. For example, Mark Lou, which is pretty cool and pretty popular around shipping a product fast, etc., will be here doing like 1 hour. We will have other guests who are more like in tech industry, who are like dropouts like us, etc., at some point. So I think like it's gonna be interesting. So if you want to come, feel free to join us on the challenge. Okay.
Really good marketing. I will give you that.
So yeah, have a good day, guys.
That was cool. Thanks a lot.
Ciao, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
Have a good
Bye,
day.
everyone.
Ciao.